for a mature audience. If you are not 18 or older, stop listening and find more age-appropriate content. This show will cover topics in a satirical manner. If you are offended by any content herein, that is your own problem. As you have been warned, please do not try this at home, or anywhere else for that matter.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports.
Oh, hell no!
One minute. We're still savoring that cookie.
Yeah, I was still chewing.
Suck it up, kids, because here we are on Blown Pistons, back from the fucking dead. Jesus Christ.
Again.
Yeah, well, it's a thing. NASCAR's always full of starts and stops.
And crashes.
Well, comparing to the new rules, yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, folks, welcome to Blown Pistons on the Bad Habits Network, brought to us in part by the great, grand, and glorious guys at Resurrection Vapor at resurrectionvapor.com. Lines upon lines of the most utterly fantastic juices that you can find anywhere and to suit every fucking palate you need. I'm not kidding when I say lines upon lines. I'm talking like 8, I think.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Especially, they've got that diesel line with Hammer Down, Eastbound Down, that Chronicles of Nah. And that Fantology line, because when you hit that 88 miles an hour, you'll see some shit.
That blue ice cream sandwich, though.
Yeah.
The Blue Moon.
Yeah. Well, we're Wisconsinites. Blue Moon's a thing. As the only Flatlander in the room's like, yeah, shut up.
Flatlander?
Aren't you an Illinois boy?
No.
No? Thought you were.
No.
Oh.
I'm north of here.
Canada?
Yes, Canada. Clearly.
You're a Frostback?
No.
Why not?
He's a Youper.
No. From Wisconsin.
Oh, fair enough. So, anyways, folks, yippee-ki-yay. Let's give a mad major shout-out to, Cody, you can make fucking cookies, too. I made cookies for your boyfriend. Shut up.
Hey, she promised me a steak.
Only if you go to work.
I don't know. There's kind of pros and cons right there.
What if she buys the steak and I make it?
I don't think I'd still go to work.
Fair enough. So, yeah, folks.
What if I brought you a steak and you made it?
What if we tell you you're pretty or something? Would that work?
People tell him he's pretty all the time. We've seen his pants.
You've seen his pants. It's because they're sparkly.
Exactly.
So where? Beautiful. These pants aren't sparkly. These are working pants.
You can't work in sparkly pants?
No. Not when they're $150 a pop.
What's with the stage name, then?
Which stage name? He has a few. Like, right now, I believe his current stage name is Sergeant Shovel Shorts.
I didn't choose it.
You're welcome. So, yeah, folks, with me today, the two new hosts for Blown Pistons. We've got the TA, whatever acronym you feel like sounding that out to, Johnny.
Hi.
And the new guy.
Trip Hopper.
Trip Hopper.
Trip Hopper?
Wow.
Trip Hopper.
Trip Hopper.
That's seriously the best intro you're going to do?
I got nothing, man.
Hey, his Intrepid's built, not bought.
It's bought, not built. You apparently don't know how to read when you pull up behind someone.
Dude, I glanced at it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, built, not bought.
No, it says bought, not built.
Aren't you freaking creative?
All I drive is shit boxes, so.
Well, we can't afford to buy anything nice. We're bad habits. We destroy them.
I've got a $200 beater I'm driving. It's got ice-cold air conditioning. You really can't complain.
No, you're like, you get your kids around, so that's all that matters.
It does. And it's not nearly as rowdy as the truck.
I heard a certain sister got to drive that truck, huh?
She did.
How'd she do?
She didn't beat it nearly hard enough. But she never killed it, so that's pretty good.
That sounds like two things.
I was kind of giving her shit, because I'm like, you're from Texas, where trucks are born, and you haven't driven one.
Trucks were born in Janesville, too.
Well, right, but...
Yeah, but not the good ones.
But there's no... there ain't no Wisconsin... yes, the Wisconsin edition truck is pretty rusted out, but...
Yeah, it's a clapped-out square-body Chevy that
right?
Has rust all the way up to the door handle.
Weight reduction, bro.
So you can spit your chewing tobacco out through your floor.
Right? Hey, man, that's what them trophy trucks do. They have a catheter and they just pee out a hole in the floor.
Well, it's hard to stop when you're doing 120 through the desert. It's like,
Right.
What do? You just either whiz on your shoes or you pee out the bottom of your truck.
Right. I'm gonna go with that second option.
I think I'd go with the first option. Keep your shoes warm.
Yeah, right. Depends on how cold it is.
The wind chill alone should help with something.
Right. But freaking A, man, the King of Hammers. You ever seen that?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's wild. Yeah, I seen a couple of those like car shows, like do let's build this thing in a week and go run like.
And it breaks in like 12 feet. 'Cause you're
Right.
like, oh, this is an actual real thing we have to do.
Right.
Oops.
Well, Aaron Kaufman did it, and he did it out of a Scout. Diesel swapped a Scout and did it. They're like, it turned out all right. I mean,
I don't think there's enough structure to a Scout. Well, at least not around here. I suppose I'm thinking like Wisconsin Scout. Like every one of them is basically folded in half.
right, and rusted out.
Oh yeah.
Beyond, yeah.
We don't have nice things around here.
No,
Because salt.
no, yeah. Consuela's like, this is why we cannot have nice things.
No.
No.
Truck no here.
Chuck no
Eat
here.
rust out.
Stance life.
No, that's just blown struts. That's
Yeah,
not
no,
a big
right.
deal.
I know a thing or two about blown struts. My race car has 4 of them.
That's fine. You just jack those to where you want it, and then you weld them.
But you see, you got permission to build the race car.
Which is incredible. I'm putting a ring on that.
Yeah. A gasket ring?
A cock ring?
Yes.
No, a wedding ring on that.
Wait, are you supposed to be announcing this on the internet already? Aren't you supposed to
shit
ask her
happens.
first?
I already did. I already asked her daddy too. It's all good.
Yeah, he already
But-
did, and I guess I get to cook.
But it is for someone to be like, yeah, that car is going to be way too expensive to make road legal. Let's spend half of that, make it a race car.
Did you knock the windows out of it yet, or are you still
No.
trying to get somebody to buy them?
No, I haven't done it yet because I got a guy that can cut them out.
You can cut them out. All you need is one of them putty knife things that goes on the Sawzall.
Oh, I know, but I'm still waiting because I got to cut off the roof anyway.
Just think how much easier it would be when you detail people's cars. You just rip the windows straight out of their car, clean
Right.
everything, and then send them their car back without their windows.
Right. Oh yeah, we forgot to put that back in. We're
Like, oh, no, we don't reinstall those. You forgot to read the fine print.
Right. Oh yeah, we just set your car on fire because it was that bad.
We also have determined it's easier to clean your rims without the tires on them, so we dismount all of them. We do not remount or balance.
Well, that's what you get at. What is it?
Oh, wait,
Inconvenient detailing.
I'm thinking a chop shop, not a detail shop. My bad.
Inconvenient detailing.
Be like, oh, you drove your car here? No, it'll never drive again.
You mean every fucking time I take my car to a mechanic instead of doing it my goddamn self?
What? People work on cars? I thought you just throw those away and buy something new.
Okay, yeah, it's a Honda Fit. Yes, it's cheap as fuck, but I ain't throwing away my Banshee.
I think it's a sweet machine. I got to drive it once.
I know. It's nice, isn't it?
It's not too bad.
I know. It's
I
small.
mean, for
and-
feeling like you're in a coffin, it drives pretty decent.
Well, Michael did have a guitar case. I guess he could upgrade to a coffin.
Very true.
You know, just
Pimp out the Banshee into a full BDSM vehicle.
I feel like it's probably doable pretty easily. Like, just rip all the interior out, a bunch of steel plating, and a couple, shackle points, and away you go.
Oh, no, that'd be way too easy. No. I'm talking about going full-blown also stealth kit with this damn thing.
Sounds like a lot of work.
So,
I think you need like a sweet A-team van or something if you're going to do that.
I kind of want a bus. I'm not talking VW.
The rape train?
Pretty much. Now, here's the great grand and glorious question, though. Short bus or long bus?
You got to go long bus because there are no brakes on the rape train.
What, just grab someone and just pack them back seat by seat by seat, then dump them out the back
well,
door?
well,
Yes.
rape train or struggle bus?
Both.
Well, it's actually more appropriate to call it combat snuggling. What? I've done that before. It's actually fun.
Yeah, but you got to go long bus. You have more room for activities.
Yeah. I mean, just in general. I mean, even if you're not using all the space, you can always have extra. But if
And
you
then
got a full bus, that's no fun.
And then what you could probably do is put a St. Andrew's cross in there and or like kind of gear it down to the axle. That way the St. Andrew's cross will turn.
Oh, no, you see, I kind of had this really awesome idea.
Most of those Transits would have a PTO anyways.
Right.
I kind of had this really great, grand, and awesome idea of just putting a step... all of y'all have seen Resident Evil 2?
No.
No.
Shame on you. I know you have.
Maybe.
I live a sheltered life.
Do you want to get striked? So, anyways, post-apocalyptic, they pimp out a bus so that the upper deck area is a combat deck area. Or basically, they build a ladder and then they build a walkway on the roof of the bus. Do the same thing, but have all the kink gear fold up. So that way, stop the bus, tie someone up there, or, don't stop the bus, tie someone up there, and so they get hit by June bugs.
Well, depending on the time of year, you got to go from May to get June bugs.
Okay, so if it's any time between November and April in pretty much Wisconsin, just, Coldplay the whole damn time.
If you make someone listen to Coldplay, they're going to want to get off the bus.
Well, they can try, but they're tied to the damn roof.
That just seems like inhumane torture.
And?
Depends on who it is.
Wait, you mean people actually like Coldplay?
There are people who do like Coldplay. I've met one of them. They're probably the only one that goes to their shows. I believe it's the singer. And even then, I think that's a stretch. But it was more along the... You seriously unplugged the board? Has it been that long?
No, I just moved my foot and it was all like, wee, sailing out.
Don't touch.
There we go.
You do the thing. Don't do the thing.
Stop wiggling it.
Wiggle it.
Speaking of guys who believe shit's hard work, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, dude who decided to swap out his transmission just for the simple sauce he wanted a manual.
Well, you see, I had 4L60 problems, so it was about to go catastrophic failure. But then, since I had a manual transmission sitting there, it just won it. So eventually I just got bored and pulled my truck apart and did a full manual swap.
Bored.
Yeah.
You were bored.
/ cheap, because I bought an entire truck for $200 that was running, driving manual that had been wrecked. And then everybody wanted $800 to $1,000 for a new 4L60. So I just went ahead, ripped every shred of wiring out of my truck and, entire dash, cut holes in the floor, firewall, all that fun. But, I had it done in a couple weeks. Not a big deal. I actually turned a profit doing it.
And you think it'd be equally hard just to put a couple of slider racks into a back trunk of a car?
Yes. Yeah, it would be way harder.
6 bolts.
It's a Chevy truck. It's like a set of Legos. I mean, you just, smack the stuff in and just plug it in and away you go. I mean, Jesus.
AKA your first date with our sister.
It's like a bunch of Legos.
Hey, that's actually one of my favorite tortures for littles. I just have them kneel on Legos for about 15 minutes.
It sounds exceedingly unpleasant.
It was.
It still is. Coming from a father, it sucks.
I don't know. That's why you get the really big Legos. I'd rather step on those than the little Legos.
Right?
At least the weight is distributed across your foot a little better.
Right. Oh, man. So what are you doing with this Intrepid?
Just daily driver. My other daily driver finally got so rusty it was slowly folding itself in half.
Which was?
Shitbox 03 Lancer. 220-something thousand miles.
Could make that a race car.
If there was any structure left to it, it probably would have been a race car, but...
Hey, you got to weld it up anyway.
Yeah, but I think when you go to remove the roof to put the cage in, I think the thing would just give up and collapse. I don't think you'd be able to get it to drive straight ever again.
Well, you could put the cage in without cutting the roof off.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Well, you can take the doors off if you want.
I think the doors were structural. Like, I think if you tried to, like, wiggle the car without the doors latched, I think it would have caved in.
Sounds like fun.
Well, I was still daily driving it up until, it went to go get parted out. You drove it back to where it was going, so. Right. AC still worked on that, too. Another $200 beater. AC worked. Had to put a clutch in that one when I bought it. 200,000 miles, original clutch on it. So clearly somebody's little commuter car that they probably did all highway miles on it. Right. And then I got it. Just mercilessly beat that poor car.
Where cars go to die.
Pretty much. I mean...
Hey, man, I'm the same way. Like, if you give me the... there are certain things, like, I wouldn't mind. Like, I'd love to go out and buy a brand new car. But I don't know if I want to drop $500 to $600 a month on a new vehicle.
I prefer to spend like $500
exactly.
and get a whole car.
Exactly.
And then own it outright.
Yeah. That's
what
I...
for a year and then throw it away.
Well, I did that with my Subaru. I bought that completely outright. I fixed what was wrong with it. Now it's a somewhat decent car.
Subaru probably needs side gaskets.
Nope.
Transmission.
Nope. A little bit, not much.
A little bit.
When I go from third to, it's a really complex issue because when I drive around town, it's great until I get up to about 40 miles an hour, and if I just slam it into fourth, it'll grind. But if I rest it against the gate, let the RPM drop, it'll just slide right in.
So you gotta finesse it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe get a little warmed up, a little bit of a how do you do.
Yeah.
You can't just slam that thing in there.
Just can't
huh?
slam it in there. But my goal is to kind of wait it out, just kind of take it easy on fourth gear, but come March time, just have it shredded down and rebuilt.
I would just get another transmission lined up and then just start launching that thing until that transmission explodes.
Pretty much.
I mean, what else are you going to do? It's a Subaru Trans. They're made of glass, so...
Yeah. I thought about doing the six-speed swap, but I heard it's a lot of work. So, because you have to swap axles out and everything, so... Yeah, that could be a little bit more than I want to spend on a daily.
Well, then you just make it a race car.
All-wheel drive, not allowed.
No, I mean not like a Jefferson race car, but like an actual race car.
Yeah.
Go start autocrossing it or something cool.
Right. And I got three cars now that I'm kind of dividing time between. So
yeah, I've got the two shitbox beaters, and then I decided to buy a tractor this year because
I seen that. How's that going?
I never owned a tractor, so I found the cheapest beater tractor I could from 1949 with a locked up engine and bought that.
Sounds like a sound investment.
Yeah, and got the engine broke loose, got it running. Been just slowly fixing it up, driving it around my third of an acre yard.
Yeah.
I'm sure my neighbors really appreciate that.
They're going to be jealous come wintertime when you drop that back blade and just
don't have
done.
a blade for it yet, but I am debating picking one up to justify why I own a tractor and I live in town.
But I tell you what, man, having a tractor is kind of like having a truck. Once people find out you have one, hey, you want to pull out my yard too? You want to part my driveway too? You want to help me move?
I don't know how reliable it's going to be, but we're going to find out if it'll even start.
Ford.
Well, it has no compression, at all.
It's a Ford.
I had the head off of it, and you could literally take all four pistons and just rattle them around in the bore when they were up at the top of the bore, at least. And I was like, I'm not even going to check them at the bottom. I really don't want to know. But it starts and hits on all four cylinders. So
Right.
The rings might free up eventually or something.
Hey, who knows? Maybe you'll get a new motor for the truck and throw that into your tractor.
No, it is outlandish to convert those to anything else because the engine is part of the frame on those, so they're not ones you can hot rod real easily.
Oh, I'm sure you can figure it out.
They make a kit to put a flathead Ford V8 in them.
Ooh.
Just the conversion kit alone is $1,400. I'm like, yeah, no.
You can figure it out.
Yeah, I would need to upgrade my welding equipment to something a little heavier at home, or just smuggle it all into work and weld it up. But
Yeah, you know the guy. It's all right.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, that sounds a lot like the second car I've ever owned was a '91 Buick Skylark. And me being young and dumb, I was like, oh man, I'm going to put racing spark plugs in this and racing wires. And I did so. I put some, I went called bumper to bumper, and I'm like, I want your, best spark plugs, your, for racing, and I want wires. And he goes, all right. So took it to high school shop, put it in, got it all done. Drove it about 3 months, and all of a sudden the motor sounded like an electric razor. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is new. Drove it home, drove it to the shop, dropped the oil pan, and my teacher shined a light up through the bottom, and the entire bottoms of the pistons were gone.
What'd you do that for?
Don't know. We dug through the oil pan, found a nice chunk of metal in there, and it was pretty epic.
Well,
Sold it to some other kid for $50. I'm like, fucking take it.
I don't know. I think my first actual vehicle I went and bought, I was 14. I bought a 74 AMC Gremlin for $150. The dude had used it as his bar hopping car after he inherited it from his father. He finally decided to park it when he drove it through a brick wall. Then he backed it out of the brick wall and drove it home. But there was not a straight body panel on this poor car. No brakes to speak of whatsoever. But I bought it, convinced my brother to drive this thing home, like a 25-minute drive with zero brakes whatsoever, through town and everything, and got the thing home. 14 years old, I own a car. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? I'm just fixing on it and tinkering on it and of course driving it around because why wouldn't you?
Right.
No brakes still. Never did fix those brakes, but
because you're a rebel.
Well, Jesus, brakes seemed complicated when you're 14.
Right.
It's like, holy crap.
You just let off the accelerator sooner.
Yeah, it's got four-wheel drum brakes. They all had a little bit of drag to them, so it would slow down eventually.
Right.
No floors to speak of whatsoever.
Flintstone?
Not a big deal.
You could always Flintstone it then, huh?
In theory you could have, but that seems scary too.
1990 VW Jetta. It was really awesome because it had 6 different colors. 3 of the doors were different colors. The hood was a different color, and the trunk was Bondo.
Excellent.
Yeah. The gentleman decided to put in a brand new stereo in there and knew nothing about electronics. So he essentially gutted the ignition and spliced the entire stereo into the main harness.
Okay, but did the radio work?
Oh, fuck yes, did it.
Well, that's all that really counts. I mean,
right.
He achieved his goal of putting the brand new stereo in and getting it working. So what
Yeah.
if the car didn't run?
Oh, no, it ran. It was actually really awesome. Got north of 40 to the gallon in the city, which was great. And I'm judging this based on just math because the dash did not function at all, except for about every once in a while it would flicker to life when it rained.
Excellent.
Volkswagen problems.
And here's the greatest part of all. The actual ignition did not work anymore. Because like I said, he spliced it into the harness. So what you had to do, you had to put the key in, turn it, and then the missus and I actually installed a fucking James Bond push start in the damn thing, hid it behind one of the dummy buttons on the dash, so that put it in, hit the button, then it would start.
Excellent.
So if you did not know what the car was, or what we did to it, you could not start the car. It was literally theft-proof. I could leave the key in there and you wouldn't figure it out.
My Subaru has one of those. It's called a manual transmission.
You have to make it theft-proof before you just leave the keys and all your junk?
It's a good idea.
Huh. My keys are in both my beaters right now.
I'll see you guys
Now,
later. I'm
here's
going to
the
go for a rip.
And here's the greatest part of all. We drove it to get an oil change because, relatively new car, get an oil change. I watched the Jiffy Lube guys fuck around with it for 25 minutes trying to start it. They're like, what the fuck did we do?
Did they end up pushing it in?
Oh, no, we drove it in for them.
Oh, when they went to check the oil level, they had to fire it up, they couldn't?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm an asshole.
I'd have held my hand up and be like, you broke it. Give me money.
I did.
It started to get it here. Did you guys break it? Oh, you guys going to fix it. Okay.
I don't know. My favorite Volkswagen I've ever owned, I owned a Volkswagen Rabbit diesel pickup. That thing was sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Little manual transmission, little 4-cylinder, non-turbo diesel, got like 50 miles to the gallon and had like 0 power. But in under 4.5 minutes, it would get up to 65.
Oh, yeah.
And it would do it in like 3 minutes downhill.
A little bit faster if you put a leg out and start skateboarding it. You know?
Pretty close.
But I had a friend of a customer come in, and he put these like nice wide tires on it, and he's like, "Can you roll my fenders?" I'm like, "Oh, I can under the disclaimer. I'm not responsible for any of your body work." He goes, "All right, let's do it." I'm like, "Okay." So I rolled it out, and he drive it down and come back. He goes, "We gotta roll it some more." Okay. Nope, gotta roll it some more. I'm like, all right. So I eventually took a pair of pliers and grabbed the lip, and because there's a little flat plate, the fender comes down at an angle and then flattens. So I had to grab that lip and pull that lip flat with the fender. So I had to like really stretch those fenders to get those tires under there. But we got it.
Barely seems worth it, but
Yeah.
you just do the old school trick and you just wedge a bat in there and drive the car forward and call it a day, you know.
Yeah, I got a roller.
It'll fit eventually. Those take way too much time.
I can have it done in under a half hour.
A baseball bat, you can have it done in like 30 seconds a corner. You just stick it in there and the dude drives it forward. You stick it in the next one, he drives it forward, and just keep going until you done all 4. You pretty much guarantee it'll clear. It may not be as smooth as an actual roller,
Right.
but
Fair
you
enough.
know it clears because it just went with the tire with a bat in between it.
Well, just remember, this is the same man whose OCD dictates he takes the seats out of vehicles to clean them.
Oh, that was a joke. That was just a race car.
No, I'm talking when you first opened up your shop. What was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
showed us that. And like, it was really dirty and I couldn't get a hose to fit because
Yeah.
you didn't buy your attachments yet. So you ripped out all the seats.
Oh, yeah. If a car's bad enough, fucking rip out the seats.
I should rip my seats out. I don't even want to know how much dog hair is underneath the driver's seat.
Fucking make a wig or two.
There was dog food under the back seat of that thing when I bought it. And there was like hair everywhere. It was brutal. There was like an entire bottle of laundry detergent apparently blew up in the back seat.
Nice.
Looked like straight up just love stains everywhere, but it foamed and smelled like laundry soap when
This
I
was
pressure
it.
washed it. So
Smells fantastic, didn't it?
it did actually once I pressure washed it. So
So Mr. Clean pumped the Jolly Green Giant in your back car.
basically, but I ended up pulling the whole back seat out and pressure washing it because I was like, there's really not a great way to get this out. I'm like, it is soaked all the way through the foam and everything. I'm like, I just pressure washed it out and stood it up on end for like 2 weeks, let it all drain out of itself.
Right.
But
That's the way to go.
my kids go back there, so you got to keep it clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need an STI panel on the back seat of a car. Let's not do that.
Cars are too small nowadays.
Well, you know, you just got to be more adventurous and flexible,
If I fold my seats down, I can fit a full-size air mattress in the back of my car.
or have
Yeah.
a sunroof.
Well-
That's fun for when she's on top.
Well, I have the desire to stand up out of my sunroof and drive my car, but I'm fairly certain I'd get yelled at if I did it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure urban surfing is frowned upon in most of the northern states.
Somewhere there's a video of me driving my brother's BMW at like 75 down Old 26 with him standing up out of his sunroof filming.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So there's a video of a redneck doing it, and he crashes his truck into a pole.
He Earnharted it?
Well, no, he got out, like, I forgot, like, got on the roof or something stupid, and then truck just went boom, into a pole.
Yeah, I mean, once you let go of the steering wheel completely, especially on a shitbox pickup, like, it's going to go somewhere you don't want it to.
Right. Fuck this pole right here.
Yep, just the one pole in particular.
If you're moving hard enough, you can get a couple of them.
Right. Or go through a couple of them.
You know, whatever.
Yeah. Good time.
Yeah.
Well, we do try to have a good time. I mean, come on, it's bad habits. If we're not having a good time, we're not drunk enough yet.
Well, I don't even drink. I just still know how to get rowdy sober.
Yeah.
Says the man with, 4 Facebook bans now?
Well, it's not that many. They just have no sense of humor. That's all.
And, you know, that was the thing on my last ban, was they didn't even give me an option to dispute the ban. They just like, nope, 7 days.
Yeah, this one.
Fuck you.
This one, even disputing it, they were like, "Well, you're still banned. It doesn't really matter." I just want the post to go back up because it's funny.
Well, that's when you create a dummy account. We put it in shots, and then there you go.
Far too much like work. Then I'll be logged into the wrong one all the time. And all of a sudden, you guys will be getting like pictures of my kids. You'd be like, "What is this boring crap?"
Well, yeah, the Geek Daddy here. And, you know, it's not like we don't have another brother who has 9 fucking accounts. Sean. Here's the thing. That man has been banned so much. He gets banned for a month. They find another picture of him from years ago. Ban him again. And it just keeps on the cycle.
That's when you just need 12 of them. So you always have one account that's open.
Well, that's the thing. It's each one get just immediately. The second he gets off ban, he's on it again.
Excellent.
So he had to make another account. And then that happened again. And then he had to make another account.
You haven't gotten quite to that level yet. Like,
Now, when it comes to being in Facebook jail, that man has like 9 life sentences going. He's on Facebook death row.
all for stuff he found on Facebook.
Yep. Which I think is just fucking hilarious, because it's like, alright, I found this in a completely open group. It was Wholesome's... No, actually, I found the one that I got banned for in Disturbing Memes. But anyways, this ban, it was a Hitler cat driving in one of the tiny little cars. And it had the tiny little Hitler stash right below the nose. And it was just going, meow, batting at someone's hand. And it just said, I have 9 lives.
Yeah, they pulled the one. It said when you ask for Minecraft, but your parents are old and get confused, and it was Mein Kampf instead of Minecraft.
Oh, come on.
They pulled that one down too. I was like, what the hell? I was like, it's a piece of literature. I'm like, I could order the thing on Amazon if I really wanted a copy of it.
Right?
I actually got warning because I posted. It was like a little black baby in an aquarium. It's like, I got a new pet.
See, that one's just bad. That's racist.
Not really. Not if you go back to, what was it, between the 1890s to the 1930s. I believe it was Tommy Hilfiger, or it was one of the brands, like one of the major clothing brands. They actually had a zoo where they put black people in them.
Fascinating.
Yeah, weird, fucked up parts of history.
I bet that company probably just totally neglects that part of their history, though.
Oh, definitely.
They probably swept that one right under the rug.
Yeah, and every time someone brings it up, it's like, oh, here's $1 million. Yeah, all we had to do is sell another purse. Yeah, here's another $1 million.
Yep. Shh. Here you go.
Yeah, the band life.
Well, whatever. I think mine's over now. I can start shit posting again, see if I can get banned again today.
You should do it. You should do the thing. That's like Johnny should get building on his fucking race car and let us all drive it.
You don't want to drive it right now. It's sketchy.
I'll drive it.
It's fucking so light that the rear shocks look like they are supporting no weight at all. Like they are completely like the gap is like huge. And then
So you've got extra capacity for dead hookers in the trunk.
oh yeah. But the shocks are so blown out that the minute you put weight in there, you could bounce the ass under this car like a basketball. I've gone over train tracks, and I swear to God, that ass end jumped up and scooted over 3 inches.
Sounds like all my daily drivers. I'm confused. That's not normal.
No.
Like half the vehicles driving on I-90. Then again, with those potholes, anything will bounce about 3 inches.
Well, it's like my truck. I put helper springs and stuff on the back of it. It's so stiff back there that you never know where the ass end's going to go if you go over a decent-sized bump. It's also got a welded rear diff, so I mean that
Right.
makes things a little less predictable as well.
Yeah. So
Welded rear differential. Educate me on that.
So you just take the cover off and just clean it all up real nice. You just take those spider gears that allow you to make corners without a tire squawking, and you just weld them together nice and solid. That way they can no longer rotate independently, and then it always drives both rear tires continuously at the same speed no matter what you're doing.
So absolutely awesome if you're doing just quarter miles and that's all you're doing. But beyond that, you're fucked.
It really helps for doing, burnouts. It keeps your tires wearing evenly, so you don't get one wearing out funny, because that's no fun. If you're going to have to replace a tire, you might as well replace both every time.
Right. Because when you do replace one tire, you replace both.
Well, I mean, depends.
It depends where you are between paychecks. Yeah, I know.
Between paychecks, hell, I mean, I had a burnout truck. I mean, you would just slap whatever tires on it. It didn't matter. Anything that would fit underneath the truck, I would run on it. You know.
Well, just go to your local Berniers and just slap
Whoever.
whatever.
You know, people just giving away tires, whatever. They're like, oh, these got like half tread left.
That's when you become a tire shop. And
Sponsor yourself.
Because I know some like Mexican friends of mine. That's what they do. They buy used tires and sell them, and they have like a shop full of tires. Like,
do they want to sponsor a burnout truck? Is that what you're saying?
We call those drift trucks, but we got you.
Yeah, drift truck, correct. It's always on a professional race course, of course. I mean,
oh yeah, always professional race course, properly maintained. You know, the nanosecond there's a drop of water, they throw out the kitty litter on it. Yeah, it's just perfect.
Definitely no chance that I would do that in my driveway, garage, country roads, in town. You know, definitely no chance for any of that.
Never.
Far too respectful for that.
Of course we are.
We obey all the laws.
All the time.
Neat.
But yeah, the truck gets a little rowdy. I mean, you know, so when you go to park, it's always chirping and squawking a tire, and, you know, you get some looks, but the straight pipes help muffle out most of the noise of the squawking tires anyways, so
right.
It's not so bad.
Well, that was me when I was fucking turning down John Nolan on my way home last night. Was this... You're going down one direction because it's basically a 45-degree turn coming off at John Nolan coming onto John Nolan to get out of Madison. And the whole damn thing's a 45. This motherfucker going on to East Wash decides, oh, I'm just going to emergency do a left-hand turn to go down whatever side road that is.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm already in the turn, though. So, okay. He's about to T-bone me. Fuck. Floor a Honda Fit. That I'm thankful I have all my BDSM gear in the back, otherwise it would have no weight in it whatsoever. So I floor it, and I basically drift my car so that he misses me by a quarter inch. And I'm not fucking shitting. I drifted this bitch. And I've never drifted a car, period.
I'd have probably let him just stuff into me and then got out, pooped my pants, and been holding my neck when I got out of the car.
I try to avoid that. I like my car in one piece.
Why? You can get more cars. Like, you can go on Facebook right now and buy like 100 cars if you wanted to. It's not that big a deal.
Dude, I'm a fucking chef. I don't make anywhere near that much money.
I don't either. You just buy cheaper cars. That's all you got to do.
No.
His car's nice. He likes his car.
Yeah.
My car's decent. It was $200.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, my Firebird's nice, but that wasn't $200.
Well, that's because you make that parts store money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Oh yeah. So much money.
Yep. You make all the big bucks working the parts counter. Makes you a master mechanic. So.
Oh yeah. So one day, we're working behind the counter. This guy comes up, and he's like, "I've been on hold for 20 minutes." Sorry,
was
sir.
he still on hold as he walked into the store? Because that'd be even better. Like, he's still on his cell phone on hold.
Right. But no. And I'm like, "Sorry, sir. How can we help you?" And he goes, "Well, I'm looking for this part." "Sorry, sir." Typed in the computer. "Sorry, sir. It looks like it's not we don't have it in the store." "Well, the online says you do." "Well, sir, I don't control the online." "Well, who does?" "Don't know. It's above my pay grade."
You're like, I can give you this number to corporate.
Some asshole in a corporate call center somewhere, anywhere really on Earth. Because, I mean, just like BHN, we don't even necessarily need to be in the studio to have a show. We just need one person here to run the damn board.
Exactly. And we proved this.
Or just sketchily leave it on, you know. There's probably ways to set a timer for it or something even.
Team viewer.
It's a Mac. I can't code that.
Team viewer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Team viewer. You can remote access the computer and...
Let's not do that to a fucking Mac because I fucking hate Apple.
Well, you know.
So anyway, this race car also has a broken spring up front.
Yeah, that's cool. It's not that big a deal. It's just a Cavalier. Like, you don't need all these things.
I know, right? But the track says we do.
Oh, so. You know what you do? you order up the air strut kit for that thing. You could probably like get it on eBay for like $200, because then you have adjustable ride height on it too. So you can set it all monster truck when you want to like load it on and off the trailer, and then you can just slam the bitch to the ground and run it down the track.
As epic as that would be, they demand stock shocks.
That is a stock replacement.
They
just have air hoses.
Yeah,
going
no,
to them
right.
instead.
Right. I mean, I'm already going to be trying to get away with things like a polyurethane engine mount, and
They don't allow poly engine mounts.
it has to be stock engine mounts. But I'm going to try to get away with the poly one.
You fill them with window weld. You take the factory rubber ones and you just fill them up with window weld. It basically is even stiffer than a poly mount when it's done.
I'm going to have to try that.
It's the Turbo Talon guys do all that shit on their mounts because like it's randomly, I guess, really hard to find the poly mounts for those sometimes.
Yeah.
So they just fill them up with window weld and fucking put them back in, and away you go.
I'm going to try that. Yeah, because I need any kind of advantage I can get. But
Because it's a Cavalier.
Well, I also have two guys that have not only raced at the track, but used to be that track's tech inspectors. So it's like, you guys are going to build my car, right? They're like, yeah, you want to do our vinyl? Yes.
Did you ever figure out if that thing's got the Ecotech or the old school 2.2?
It's the newer Ecotech.
Ecotech?
Yeah.
I would probably go ahead and throw a timing tensioner in that thing before it just like all of a sudden one day gives up on you.
If it does, there's more motors on Facebook.
Yeah, those things get expensive after a while. They're not hard to change, but they're expensive. But yeah, like those things just love to just randomly, the timing tensioner just gives up on them, and like you'll drive it to wherever you go. Like you can shut it off at the gas station, you go to start it again, and it never runs again. You're like, it just gives up.
You want to come take a look?
They're like, I think it just threads into the back of the block on those things. It's like a inch and an eighth or something, and it just like unthreads. You can thread a new one in.
Yeah, you should come take a look.
I'll see if I can blow it up for you before you ever get to race it.
As long as I have another backup motor, let's do it.
Will it do a burnout?
Well, you see, she gave you permission to build a race car, right?
Yes.
That didn't say anything about, so long as you have a race car, and if one blows up, well, then you get to build a race car.
That's true.
True.
You see, this was blanket permission. She didn't just say one race car and that's all you get.
True. She didn't say I couldn't build an
She doesn't
international
listen to
either.
this, does she?
She's listening.
Oh, crap. Now you're in trouble.
She didn't say I could build it international either, which is, a lot more performance stuff.
It's not that big a deal. Technically, it didn't even specify what type of racing. If you just say race car, I mean, you could go decide to build a full-blown drag car tomorrow.
Oh, now she's going back on her word. She said one.
Oh, now she's putting the escape clauses back on it.
Yep.
You can build that particular car into a race car to do this exact type of racing.
Well, you see, the thing is that she has attachment to the car because it was like first car she hit a house with.
Yes, that old chestnut.
yes. But and then that's a car that she bought, or she pretty much rescued from a what's it called, it's not salvage yard, but I'm drawing a blank.
Scrapyard?
No, where police take it.
Oh, impound lot.
Impound lot. Yeah, she rescued it from an impound lot. Therefore, she owns the car now, and she was forced to give it back to her ex-husband, and her ex-husband was letting some drunk guy drive it, and he was driving the car obviously drunk, so he's like, no, give me the keys. So he took it back to it, like you do, and so we finally rescued it, and I'm like, look, we could make it road legal, or we could make it a race car.
So you need to get one of those, like the people do for the shelter animals. It's a rescue, it's what I do, or whatever, and like stick that on there somewhere.
Right? It's a rescue.
So what you're saying is she's going to pop out that crib midget, and she's going to go race the car?
Well, I told her she could.
She'd probably be faster than you anyways. So.
Yeah, no, yeah. Most women are.
Yeah, they have better reaction times, so.
Yeah. Well, they have to. I mean, after that 30 seconds, they got to get out of the way because it's like, all right, move on.
30 seconds? Wow, you guys are really pushing it today. Is that like a round 2 time?
Well, I'm assuming you rubbed out the easy one earlier on the way over.
Shit, I've jacked it 3 times since I got down in the basement. I mean, what's a guy to do?
I'm all jacked up by Mountain Dew.
I thought this was a circle jerk you guys invited me to, but turns out...
No, it's a Dutch rudder.
Ah. You need one of them gopher grabbing arms to reach all the way across the table, though.
We got... he has 50 feet of rope of whatever the fuck we want.
300.
300 feet? Yeah. Yeah. We'll get some fucking rope contraption to go.
I've got like 25-foot jumper cables in the car. We could run the battery cables down through the window.
Sounds like a shocking experience.
I just can never remember if the positive goes on the right or the left nipple. I always mix it up.
Toes.
Toes?
Yeah. Or depending, the orifice of choice, depending on who your partner is.
Also depends on if you have any metal in your body.
I have titanium in me, but that's inside.
Well,
That's
calm
kind
down,
of the
Wolverine.
Well, you see, here's the thing. If you pass electricity through metal, it does heat up, as, all of us who vape understand that, yeah?
Well, it's titanium. It should take some decent current for a while,
It doesn't take shit to heat that stuff up.
Well, I'm not saying heat it up, but I'm saying the titanium itself should survive just fine.
Yeah, and you'll start looking like something out of They Live.
He'll burn you down like 9/11.
Yeah, burn him down like a right turn on a left turn track.
Why gotta put that evil on him? Come on now.
Hey, I've seen guys walk out of a fucking wreck with their crotches on fire while wearing Viagra suits. So that in and of itself was funny as hell.
Flaming crotch Viagra suit.
Yes. I'm like, wow.
Bravo.
Right?
Because that Viagra car is always driven hard.
Mm-hmm. and it just takes a repeated pounding, like just right into that back wall.
Right into the rears of other cars.
Mm-hmm. Right up that tailpipe.
I don't think I'd want to drive the Viagra car. Like, it just seems like a sticky situation.
No, that's the KY car.
Mm. Although I've always kind of wanted to see an all-Mexican team drive the Spick and Span car.
They'd have to keep it really clean, though.
So? I mean,
but it'd be...
the greatest part is they're the ones who built the wall, so, they can get around it.
Or over it.
Exactly. They know where the weak spots are.
I always laugh at the meme that says, what if Mexico wanted to build a staircase on the other side of the wall?
Well, it could. I mean, it still doesn't help you on our side when
right.
you have like a 40-foot drop.
Right.
Well, you see, that's when they actually go completely different and go what they've now started to do in Tokyo to get drugs across. Instead of actually having people run shit, they're using drones.
Oh, yeah.
Just Amazon Prime drugs to everyone's houses. Which is really fantastic because now the police have started to using attack drones that just fly a net over the fuckers.
So there's just like an entire crowd of drone traffic down there, huh?
Right. And here's the greatest part.
Walking over the border
the
could
fucking
be like...
gangs are actually getting even. They're using their own attack drones. And the police have... It was an actual interview, and the police said, yeah, this is the most fun we've had in years.
So all of you video gamers, step up
and
head down to the border. There's jobs for you.
Fucking walking across the border could be like a fucking Star Wars.
Right.
I don't know why they don't just go old-fashioned and just go back to catapults and just fling the drugs over.
They do. They
Chubby
actually already
shiz.
do that.
No,
it was one of the DEA shows on TV that I was watching with my roommate because I was bored and he was also bored, and 2 a.m. And it's literally they're walking across the border and they find just this giant bag of, bags. I mean, it was obviously full of drugs, but it actually had skid marks from the landing.
nice.
And I'm like, huh. They catapulted that shit. Now here's my great question: Did they do a catapult, a scorpion, or a trebuchet?
I would think a trebuchet would have the most distance, really. I mean,
And height, because you have to get over the wall too.
Really cheap and easy to make. Like,
Just go down to your local Home Depot. They know 6 guys working there.
well, I don't know that they have Home Depots in Mexico.
It's La Casa Depot.
Probably. I just assumed it'd be a training center. You know, the store
A
itself
training
is
center.
the store itself is completely empty. They just have people waiting out front.
People just drive by in pickup trucks, hold up X amount of fingers.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that in Colorado Springs. Like, you could literally roll up, you'd hold up 4 fingers, 4 dudes would jump in the back of your truck, and they'd work for you for the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But then you got to pay them. I mean,
Yeah, I usually pay them and feed them lunch. But they would work for, $8-9 an hour, doing, jobs that most people would want $20 an hour to do. But again, when you're not paying taxes and all of it on it, they don't care.
Yeah, not paying taxes, making okay money, but if it's 5 guys living together, your bills are tiny as fuck. So fuck it, right?
Isn't that a restaurant? 5 guys living together?
no, it's
That's
just
why
5
I will
guys.
never go into 5 guys. Fuck that. Because I never want to walk out and be able and put on Facebook.
Because you
I
don't
just
want
had
5 guys
and
going into you.
Exactly. It's like, why do that when I could just go up to work and make my own burgers? Free. And not $12 for a tiny little 5-ounce flat-ass patty.
I don't know. I've never had it.
I've never had them either, because once again, I never want to say I have 5 guys inside of me. And I just saw pictures, and because I always do research before I go to a restaurant, because I want to know. Not necessarily it's good or bad. I don't particularly give a fuck about that, because I'll form my own opinions. But I will look at the food, and it's like, that's going to suck. Or I know that's going to fucking take forever. Or I know that guy drives a piece of shit car sitting out back. And that guy's probably the one selling the drugs to the dishwashers. Or vice versa.
Well, somebody's got to keep the dishwashers with drugs. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to.
Well, it's usually either the dishwashers or the bartenders are the ones either buying or fencing. Just whichever one it goes.
Whichever one has money that week to have the drugs initially.
Well, it's usually the bartenders that do. That way they always have an explanation of why they have a shitload of cash on them.
Ah, yes, the tip money.
Exactly.
I'm just a really good bartender. Like, this is the crappiest drink I've ever had. Yeah, but I'm pretty. No, you're really not.
No, dear, you're a Janesville 3, all right? You're not that pretty.
A Janesville 3 is like an anywhere else, like 1.
They get bad. They get bad.
Depends on which side of town you go on.
Although the really awesome part is all my bartenders drive these really, really nice, pristine, newer model cars. I'm like, I know how much all y'all make here. What the fuck? And I'm like, oh
Blowjobs.
yeah, Madison. Parents' money.
Or lots and lots of mouth hugs.
2 of my bartenders are married to 2 other bartenders. Well, going out with 2 of my other bartenders, so probably.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I do like 5 guys fries though. Cajun fries.
How's it feel when the 5 guys comes back out of you, though?
Well, you see, I've never had
Does it leave you empty inside?
I've never had their meat inside of me,
No?
but I do enjoy their Cajun fries, their potatoes. 5 Guys is a good farmer, but
Is that all, huh?
I don't know. I really don't think I'm missing out on anything. Like, again,
Top Ellie's isn't bad either.
haven't been there either. No. I don't know. They dumped 75 restaurants into this town in a space of a year, and I haven't tried any of the new ones.
I don't.
Gotta
even
catch them
bother.
all.
And now we're getting a golden corral.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Fuck that. Put in a White Castle. They'll make billions.
Oh yeah. But Golden Corral, when they got the prime rib, ooh. It's mediocre, but
It's mediocre at best. But,
yeah, it ain't a Geek Daddy steak, but it's
But when you can eat
Eatable.
48 pounds of it in a night,
Trip Hopper does have a point there.
sometimes quantity over quality.
Sometimes it's just, I want meat. But what I desperately want here in town is someplace else that's actually open late. Because I'm fucking sick and tired of getting home at 1:30 in the morning after driving home from Madison, and the only place that's open is fucking Taco Bell.
McDonald's.
Fuck that. The only thing decent from them is a fucking McChicken.
You need
Amen.
a 24-hour Sonic so you can just drive right up with your car and just,
Yeah, just
be
load
obnoxious with your music and shit. And
sing to the red.
could you imagine putting a Sonic on the strip? All the douchebag kids cruising the strip, pulling into Sonic, just with their music blaring and their daddy's pickup trucks. And,
Oh yeah, yeah.
it'd be a good time.
And that's the one thing the city desperately doesn't have anymore. Someplace for kids just to go and fuck around at.
They tried that. They had that pool hall and a bunch of other shit they've tried over the years. It just doesn't work.
That's because they keep putting them on the south side of town, and the south side of town is pretty much just needs to stay residential, because nothing really lasts on there anymore.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that really sticks around that well. The bowling alley's still down there, though. The one.
That's because it's a bar.
There's 2 bowling alleys left.
Yeah, 2 out of what?
2.
5 in the area that we had?
There was 4. No,
the one in
there was 3.
Edgerton closed, the one in Milton closed, the one on Blackbirch closed.
The Blackbird.
I feel like one other one somewhere not too far from here closed too. It's like this whole area, like all the
Yeah, Whitewater's been teetering.
extracurricular activities are like closing down.
Yeah. Hawk Bowl's been teetering for.
We need
for,
a drag strip in this town, so you
Oh,
don't have to.
yes.
So you don't have to drive so far.
I know, right?
Then you could take all these kids and just have them beat on their daddy's pickup trucks legally and not on the road.
Right? And make some money. Dude, we should do this. Copyright.
Fuck copyright. Let's just open it up. Now, here's a great, grand, and glorious question, though. Where the fuck do we open a drag strip in this piece of shit town?
Nowhere, because somebody will cry, "It's too loud.
Yeah, well, the only
My
place.
kids are trying to sleep."
Well, I mean, if we had Tiger Woods money, we could buy out the airport.
Yeah, but even the airport, like, what are you going to do with that?
Right. Who is it?
It's a person. They can go fuck themselves. Unless they come in. Unless, they're planning on coming down here, in which case, that could be a thing.
They can go fuck themselves, too.
Yeah, but that'd be with a pine cone.
I don't see any pine cones down here. They're going to have to bring their own.
That's over there in Rose's pile of stuff. It's a thing.
Fair enough.
It's a thing.
And justice.
Yeah, you would
Justice.
almost have enough room out at the airport, but again, like, more and more people are building right up by the airport, too, to complain about the noise.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even we're actually at risk of losing one of our great racetracks in this country, Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca's in California.
Because all the rich douchebags have built up by it.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me. This track's been there since, like, the 50s, right? Like, one of the first racetracks in this country. All these rich douche nozzles decide to build a subdivision right fucking next to the racetrack.
Correct. That way they can complain about the noise.
Exactly. So they can complain about it, get it shut down. I mean, that's how we lost Richmond, too, I do believe. I think they turned Richmond into some, bullshit.
More and more, too, with how sue-happy everyone is. All the racetracks are struggling to pay for the insurances and all that crap.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
I think CASA, or Circuit of the Americas, they need to make like $4 million every time they open up that track.
I think we just need to invade Canada. Do a hostile takeover. They got lots of land up there to start building drag strips and stuff in.
That's because 90% of the population lives right across the border.
Yeah, because the rest of it's like almost uninhabitable. It's so cold and barren, and there's just nothing to support you. Like, unless you want to live like, off the grid and kill your own food daily, there's just nothing.
I'm sensing a restaurant opportunity. We could do that. We could do a fucking international bad habits race car track and restaurant.
Right.
You hear that, Canada? Sponsor us.
Don't even have to pay us in weed. We'll fucking do it for free.
Well, it's legal up there, so. Countrywide, it's legal up there.
Yeah, and they're running out. That's the depressing part.
So, grow up, restaurant, drag strip. Got it.
Well, you have that entire center field, and that's gonna make the car crashes and the fires epic.
Dude,
The fires would be good.
We'll have a marijuana crop right down the middle of the drag strip.
Mm.
That way, every time somebody bursts into flames,
Methanol and marijuana.
I'm not seeing a downside to this.
I think your eyes would burn pretty good, but that's all right.
Well,
it depends on if you're on the car or not.
I mean, you're on fire, so I doubt, 1, you'll care that much, and 2...
You'll be so high, you really won't care that much.
Imagine the brownies I could make, because I actually know that you need, in order to add the butter to the brownies, you need to substitute out. And sorry, not a cooking show. Sorry.
Wait, Michael.
Thank you. Yes, this is the one show. Well, mine's the one show you can't. So all the other ones you can. But
it's fine.
Not really. No. Y'all kind of need to tell me to shut up every once in a while.
That sounds like a tremendous amount of work. Eventually, you'll get bored of rambling and just taper off.
No, I don't.
No? Just
No.
hostile takeover?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I will keep going.
So he's the guy that moves in by the drag strip and starts complaining about the noise. Got it.
No, I complain about the noise because there's not enough of it. No, you see, I'd be the guy who will build a house next to the racetrack to put a porch on top of the roof so I can watch that shit for free.
Or to charge,
Right.
or to charge people $48 for parking.
$600 for parking, bud.
I'll be fair, 20.
You know, it's like you move in by the fairgrounds, you buy your neighbor's house, bulldoze it, put up a small parking lot, and then when fair season comes around, you just make your property taxes for the year.
Hear that, Hammer?
Just buy your neighbor's house. We need a parking lot.
It's not wrong. But I don't know if we could do that to either one of our neighbors, just because both of them are actually kind of hot. So,
They don't need houses to be hot.
Well, they need houses to stay around.
Just put them in a van or like an RV, and then charge them to park it there.
That's not fair. And besides, if anyone's getting an RV, it's us, so we can fucking go camping and visit all these fucking NASCAR tracks.
I don't know that you want an entire RV. They're expensive to drive around the country is the problem.
So,
We can visit all the vape shops.
so we just bring race cars and race people for money along the way. And I will cook.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, but I don't think you can have a commercial kitchen inside an RV. Well, you might. It's called a food truck, but...
You really think I can't fit a commercial kitchen inside of an RV?
I think you could.
It's me.
You just push harder. A little more lube.
What's up, Hammer? Yeah, believe me, it's possible. I can do it. Worst case scenario, it'll just, be one of those really cool, from like the teardrop style RVs and campers they have, where the kitchen itself just pulls out of a compartment in the back.
There you go. Then you just start cooking at the racetrack.
Exactly.
Charging $86 for a brat and a soda pop.
Yeah, I have a problem with ripping people off like that. If I'm going to do it, I need to go overboard. Cool.
That thing is sweet. A Winnebago with a Volkswagen in the back of it.
Yeah.
Is that the Volkswagen? Yeah, it's like a chop modified bug. Motor's up front like it should be. Actually, the motor's in the dash.
Well, there's not a lot of room in those things, but
I drive it, shit. And it's bagged and just slammed nastiness.
it's dirt nasty low.
Right? Hammer knows the way to everybody's heart. Look at that. A bag of wieners and some...
I mean, these are all things we could reasonably do. I know some really great vendors. They're more than happy to DHL me whatever the fuck we need.
Right.
Well, and again, you get like a Sam's Club membership or whatever, and it's nationwide. You can just go pick up food in bulk. May not be the top choice ingredients, but whatever. It's fucking...
Some of my vendors love me enough, they will fucking Amazon drop that shit right on top of our RV. I will gladly put in a system where the roof
helipad?
opens. Yes, I will do that shit.
Shit, alright.
I will gladly do that shit for some of my vendors.
Okay, but it's got to be like a sketchy 1970s Winnebago that like just looks like you're going to catch something stepping into it.
Free candy.
These are things I
Free
can do.
10 mil sockets.
Free fucking WCAC membership.
Because again, if you get a really nice RV, people are going to assume you have money and they're going to be trying to fuck with it. You get like the sketchiest, most clapped out looking Winnebago.
So we're talking like the Breaking Bad Winnebago, yeah?
yeah, pretty
With
much.
bullet holes?
Yeah, sure.
Because you need ventilation.
Probably from the inside out, though.
Well, yeah, because then at least we know we didn't hit anything we weren't meaning to not hit.
Yeah, because we don't want the plumbing to leak or anything horrible.
We want the vehicle to still be able to run. And, if the gray water tank has a couple of bullet holes in it, I'm fine with that.
We can keep it running. That's not that big a deal.
It'd be fun. Now the great, grand, and glorious question, though. Do we do an electric or gas? Or do you let me...
Gas.
Or do you just say, fucking, let me do charcoal? Let me do charcoal. Let me do charcoal.
I think
You
we
can do
should.
charcoal. I don't give a shit. It
Hil-
seems easier than trying to keep like
Hey,
gas stock.
Hitler used gas.
So,
It's a good choice.
I did not see that coming.
gold star jokes here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, and if you guys are tired, you can jump on our train.
So we'll have the bus and the Winnebago just driving across the country.
Mm-hmm.
With a tow dolly with a race car behind it.
That's broke.
Yeah, it runs.
That'll
when
be
it
the
wants
challenge.
to.
Is you have to like jump from the Winnebago to the race car to work on the race car as it's traveling down the road.
Because you ain't got time
See,
to fix
that,
Because
that's,
we don't have brakes, so we can't stop.
without
see,
the
that's
race
thing.
car.
We never actually finished the race car. It's just attached to the fucking bus. So we're like, yeah, you're going to race the race car. As it's being towed by a bus we have now completely tricked out to do over $140.
With a simulator built into the race car so that it feels like you're racing.
Yeah, seriously, we just lower out a tow strap so it comes off the trailer, so it is fair.
There you go. Try to keep up with the bus.
Run a fishing wire from the race car so you can pull the chutes.
Like, that car is our brakes. What? Yes.
Not lying.
Well, have you seen the new the Hobbs and Shaw movie yet?
I have not seen that one yet.
Oh, I went and watched it last night, and Ryan Reynolds is in it.
No shit.
Let me correct myself. Deadpool's in this fucking movie.
As an actual Deadpool, or Ryan
As-
Reynolds using Deadpool's personality?
Yes.
So just Ryan Reynolds generally.
Yes, and I don't want to give away too much, but he's like, and they stabbed a dude with a brick. Then, well, you gotta stay to the.
Now I don't have to go see the movie. I can just
Well-
have Johnny act the whole thing out.
Yeah, right. Because I'm really good at it.
How many
No,
cars
no.
do we need? I can wrangle up a few more.
But my favorite part of though is they had this Peterbilt rotted out, slammed to the freaking ground, but it was a Peterbilt tow truck, and it was just epic. And then I seen it drive off the cliff. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, they do have a tendency to always wreck the cool shit.
right,
Like,
yeah,
they're like, oh, here, this shitbox Civic. No, we'll leave that fine.
yeah, right.
This cool ass car, let's total that thing.
Yeah, right. Charger, what else did they wreck? The Corvette that drove off the train.
Corvettes aren't anything that special.
Yeah, but that was like a modified, like one-off
Corvettes
Corvette.
are just old guy cars, anyways. Like
Yeah. There's the same demographic as a Cadillac.
98% of them never get driven to like any sort of capacity, anyways. They're just babied. They get like 40 miles a year put on them.
Yeah,
They're
we
just like
might
a
see a change with the new vet, though.
I doubt it because they're all going to burst into flames from the looks of it.
You think so?
Yeah, there's been like 10 of them that caught on fire. One of them's been totaled out already. Like
Damn.
they're just like epically destroying those things. Like
Yeah, Chevy's probably like, fuck.
Recall.
shit, we blew up all of our prototypes already. Oops.
right. Did you? And then I seen a twin turboed one. Just looked all nasty. That left the rear bumper off. And
You know, like you can go pick up like an old beater Corvette for like $1,500 as a winter beater. Like nowadays, like
right. It's fiberglass. It's not going to rust on you.
I mean, you go too old though. They still had steel framing underneath, but like
Right.
even like what like 90 something they switched to like all aluminum underneath, so even that won't rot out.
Right.
You know, perfect winter beaters
Oh yeah.
as long as you don't have kids because they got no back seat.
Yeah.
That's what trunk's for. You know, just tie them up, strap them in.
Most
There
of
you
them don't even have a trunk.
go. Okay.
They also, I don't think they've had spare tires since like 96-ish kind of range. I think they quit even having a spare tire on them. Because they're like, literally, no one's ever going to put a spare tire on a Corvette anyways. Like,
Right.
99% of the people that drive these wouldn't even know how to change a tire. And the ones that would are just going to be like, meh, I'll just call someone that cares.
Meh. AAA's a thing.
Triple A? You got like
Yeah.
3 friends named Aaron or something you call up like when your shit breaks down?
No.
Huh.
That one that implies that I have friends,
Wow.
which I don't. I have family. That's about it.
Are they all named Aaron so you can call up the AAA and be like, hey?
No, they're named assholes who eat all my cookies.
Oh. I've only had like 2 of them. But I am an
Are
asshole.
we counting?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. 15 Snickerdoodle cookies so far.
5.
Okay, I've had like 5, but they were all freaking delicious.
They are very good.
Get in my belly!
Trying to get us all jacked up on sugar for this.
Hi.
Yeah, right?
Well, someone was running late.
Well, I
I
was
don't know
working,
who that was.
working at the shop, doing some work.
And what time did we say?
You should have told him like 1:30 so he was
Well-
here by 4.
Well, the truth is we had school things for the little ones, so we had to knock that out.
You should have been faster. You got
I
to
was-
get your times down.
I was
Because if you ain't first, you're
I,
last.
I didn't miss a gear, but I did have to go around some bullshit road construction.
Yeah.
They're a little too much of that currently.
And realistically, it's Wisconsin. Their
Fifth
construction
season,
problems is,
Wisconsin's 5th season.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
and
I
it's
mean, we
also
only
not
get-
an excuse anymore, just like hitting a deer is not an excuse.
We only get...
That is an excuse because deer fuck shit up.
No.
Tell it to my friend who had a Dodge Dart and it cracked his carbon fiber hood and broke, like, just destroyed it.
Still sounds drivable.
No, it wasn't. It was totaled. Insurance company totaled it out.
Okay, still sounds drivable just because a carbon fiber hood is outlandishly expensive to replace. And they totaled it based off value.
Right.
Yeah, this all sounds like things that are not our problem.
Well, this is Tripper. I mean, he'd drive. He'd drive it anyway. It's good, guys. I'll drive it home.
That'd be
Yeah,
about
I don't-
when
I don't
wanna
need a
go
hood,
buy
I'm good.
one. That'd be about when I want to go buy one. I'd be like, oh, that guy like smashed the piss out of that thing, rolled it twice, and it lit on fire. I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, that guy's driving a shittier car than I am. Hey, I want to buy your car.
I've actually tried to do that several times over the years.
What, we have the Ghetto MacGyver over here?
Yeah.
I usually end up having like the ugliest vehicle in a parking lot. It is kind of my thing. Just happens that way though.
Yeah. It's weird, but like I've never had like real shit boxes, like like to the level you're describing.
That's a shame.
But
You have one right now. You just chose to make it into a race car instead of just
I know,
daily
right?
driving it. Like,
Right,
I would have just fired it up and been driving it.
right. But
Maybe threw some plates on it off something else and just kept driving. Like,
to the opposite end, when I drive the Firebird, it is it's freaking wild because I'll get people give me the jaw drop look, or they'll like start cheering and like I'll get the burnout signs. It's like really.
yeah.
And then I've had 2 people now walk up to my door. You want to sell it?
And you're like, sure, I'll sell it.
No, I'm like, not really. He goes, I'll give you $9,000.
That seems a touch low.
A little low. But I was like, I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, $9,000's $9,000, and she's all like, "You're not selling this car."
That's when you put like a $20K price tag on the back window.
right.
Like if somebody wants to give you like way more than it's worth, sure, sell
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
like,
exactly,
whatever.
right.
But if
Right.
somebody wants to give you like even fair price for it, like what's really the point of selling it unless
Yeah.
you really have to?
Exactly.
If you got another kid on the way, you might as well sell it.
No.
You're not gonna have time for toys or anything fun anymore.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah,
you see,
no.
that's why we have Johnny here. He has our fantastic tradition of whenever another one's on the way, he gets another car.
Not true.
Yes, true.
No.
Yes.
No.
Ever
Why?
since I've known you, every time another one's on the way, you get a new car.
Why you
No.
need another beater? What are you looking for?
No. I'm good with cars now. I got just about all the cars I need.
Well, it's
So
like
you
when
got,
you
like,
told
what,
us she
50?
gave you permission to get a fucking race car. We're like, she's having twins?
No. Like I said, that was her car to begin with. So, yeah, I didn't really gain a car. It's still her car, but I just been given permission to make it a race car. I'm like, you want to drive it? She's like, you won't catch me dead in that thing. I'm like, but it's going to be safe.
Ish.
Well-
It'll have a roll cage. It'll have a 67-point harness.
Right, 5 point. I gotta have a crack strap.
I wasn't lying when I said this car's death proof.
Right.
To take advantage of it, you really gotta be sitting where I am.
Yeah, fuck you over
Great
there.
movie, by
I'm
the
safe here.
Great movie.
Although, honestly, I still have to love Planet Terror more than Death Proof.
Yeah, they're both pretty good.
Death
I mean,
race.
come on. Fucking Rose McGowan just takes her M16 leg and plops it up right on the handlebars and shoots people.
Yeah, I mean, the weird, quirky, like, here, let's just throw big, dumb cars and this random Jesse James motorcycle in here just because I can. Like,
Well, it's Quentin Tarantino. It's going to happen.
yeah.
I mean, if it's weird and badass, he will find a way to put it in.
Well, he'll just throw it in. He doesn't even try to find a way to put it in. He's just like, stick.
And it works.
Well, yeah, because we all have ADD. It's not a big deal.
And it's Quentin Tarantino, so we just don't question shit anymore.
No, we're just like, oh, whatever. Yep, he's doing that.
It's like seeing Samuel Jackson as a cowboy in the middle of winter, convincing his bounty he just caught to blow him in order to keep him warm. I mean, come on.
Hey.
And then adding the little tidbit at the end that he swallowed. It's really hard to top that.
Well, he was hungry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
Good
yeah,
times.
looking forward to it, man. I got a helmet already. Got a jacket that was gifted to me for free because my uncle, he ran it back in like 2008, 2009.
Does it have to be current cert, though, for all
Not
that?
the suit. The helmet's got to be at least 2014 or 2015, 2016.
What's ruling on fuel in those things?
90 or 93 octane.
Any clause about Klotz Nitro in there? That stuff does some hellacious stuff to mud trucks.
Yeah,
from
no
personal experience.
No nitro.
Do
No.
tell. I had a shitbox S10 mud truck I built one time. Little 4.3 6-cylinder.
All right, from now on, your BHN name may just be Shitbox. So just skip over that part. We'll just assume every vehicle you talk about has at least 67% rust.
I tried the whole owning a nice vehicle thing once. Didn't work out. But anyways.
I know it
so,
slowly morphed itself into...
You know, you're supposed to mix this stuff pretty conservatively. Like, I think it's like an ounce per 8 gallons or something stupid. Like, really low. So I just poured like a whole 16-ounce bottle in on top of like 4 or 5 gallons of gas that was in this thing. It ran strong. In fact, it ran so strong that it burned all 6 spark plug wires off and was still running on all 6 cylinders. Just pure detonation. It was angry. But once it shut off, it wouldn't start back up because it had no plug wires.
Right.
They literally all burst into flames and people were like, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, it's on fire. And I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, it's still running. I'm like, I'm in a mud pit. Where's it going to go? And, of course, once I shut it off, now it no longer had spark to anywhere it needed it and wouldn't fire back up. But we threw another set of plug wires on it, fired right back up.
And then burn those off.
No, I just drove it around a little bit at that point, get it back down to the pits and stuff and out of the way. After hooking the tow strap to it through the door post, because I really didn't care.
Because why care when you could be nice and warm and toasty inside of your car?
Well, you see, it was my daily driver at one point. I sold it and then bought it back as a mud truck, but while I think I owned that truck like 5 times, and it went through several different renditions from just a bone stock Iowa farm truck to sitting on 35s with a Jeep Wrangler straight axle front end underneath it. It was a fun daily driver, but it would use almost as much transmission fluid as it did gas to drive around. You know, typical. And it would rattle all the torque converter bolts loose. Like every 50 miles, you'd have to retighten the torque converter bolts or they'd all fall out.
It's not shit box, it's trip box.
Hey, I've owned a few beaters over the years. Somewhere in the... Probably, I think I've owned 200 and something vehicles by this point in my life now.
We may need Hammers and our sister's fucking ideas on that, but Tripbox ain't bad.
That was from Brother Hammer.
Oh, nice. Very nice, very nice.
Said I tried the nice vehicle thing and had the payment, and it wasn't for me.
Is that because your ex got it?
No.
Whole new definition.
I totaled it, actually.
Whole new definition to this car is tripping.
No, that'd be a Volkswagen.
Also true. It was like my old man's truck that he had. It was the last actual truck that he had because he bought a really tiny S10 later in life, but got rid of it immediately. It was a 1983 Ford F-150. Giant steel monster V8 that drank as much oil as it possibly could.
That's fine.
Yeah, after a point, he just stopped taking the funnel out of it and just kept it up in the engine bay because it's like, oh, all right, stop for gas, put in another quart. Stop for gas, put in another quart.
I once owned a Ford that would leak and or burn and kind of a combination of both so much oil that, like, I would drive it down I'd get on the interstate in Milton, and by the time I hit the 11 off ramp, I would have to shut it off because all the lifters would be ticking, add 5 quarts of oil, and then I could get off the interstate typically on my way home from work, and I'd have to shut it off as I coasted off the interstate, pour 5 quarts in it again to drive it the rest of the way home. So I just started running drain oil in it. Like, I didn't even bother to put new oil in it anymore. It was legit using 5 to 6 quarts a day. Not bad, but I was driving it like almost 35 miles a day. So, that's pretty good oil economy.
That's that's when you just
for a tripping cart, not bad.
That's when you
That's
that's when you get crafty and just run a hose from the freaking oil cap to the interior of the car that way you can just dump it in as you drive.
A gravity-fed dripper that goes underneath the pan and just out.
Just has a drum in the back. You just have a transfer pump. You just kick on when the lifters start ticking.
Right. Electronic fuel pump. Yep, there it goes.
Not the weirdest idea we've had on network.
Well,
Copyright.
For all of you with your oil-burning shit boxes.
Well, here's one of the greatest parts about driving this truck, though, because my dad and I were DJs, right? And we had this one show over at Riverside Park, kind of like if you're heading out towards 14, but you take a right. It has that one single-lane tunnel in the middle of it.
Oh, yep, I know where you're talking about.
Yeah, the one that everybody blasts their horn through.
What? Your horns work? That's what loud exhaust is for.
Air horns.
No, fuck that. Rain horn. Train horns.
So, rolling through, and the show we had was actually at the pavilion at the bottom of Riverside Park. So, like, easily 50 feet below river level. So we're like, all right, if it rains, this is going to get fun. So, forecast for the day said clear. It's Wisconsin, so, an hour into the show, it wasn't
snowing.
Yeah, actually, it eventually sleeted. But, the mother-in-law is just fucking pissed, going, nah, I just got a fucking permit for this place. If you rip up any of the grass, getting your equipment out of here, I'm not getting my money back or whatever. So my old man's he's like, yeah, Mike, 4-wheel. It's like, all right, fine, go lock the differentials. And didn't even bend the grass. You can even see where the tires touched the grass. There wasn't any fucking marks. And because it was a really great day until the lightning started showing up.
I'd have been out there whipping donuts. Like, you start bitching at me like that, I'd have been just tearing it up.
We did a burnout with the DJ trailer attached.
There you go.
On the road, mind you. Not in the grass, on the road, because, we would eventually get sued, so. But, an opportunity to give a final fuck you, we will not miss that. It's like, yeah, bitch, we win. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're still getting paid.
Yep. Actually, yeah, it was after an hour into a show, basically when it shifts over from the mother-son dance, whatever, the usual bits. In our contract, it stated, full payment, so no refunds, right? Of course, anything before that, acts of God, whatever, everything. My father was a genius when it came to planning out contracts. So, just walking along, just nice, peaceful day. She's back there, Mike? Yep. She pissed? Yep. Drops it into one, floors it. Boom. I've never actually seen that truck almost pull a wheelie.
I've almost done wheelies and pickups. You just got to grossly overload them, and they're very willing to do it suddenly.
Oh, that was the DJ trailer that we had. The fucker was, I think, almost 800 pounds by itself, unloaded. It was one of the really nice, fully kitted out steel frame,
perfect,
but fiberglass shell. It was nice. It just weighed a shitload right on the tongue, and especially with all the gear in it, because we always made sure we put the speakers and subs and everything at the front of it, so it all weighed right on the tongue.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All tongue weight, all the time.
Yes. And it worked. Until my old man had the brilliant idea to tow it with a fucking Ford Escort.
I'm not seeing the problem here. Like an old first-gen Escort?
Yeah.
Those things are awesome.
Yeah. And until the battery explodes in the compartment.
Well, it's okay.
Still works.
Just slap a new battery in it. It's not a big deal.
Melted through the harness.
You don't need most of those wires anyways. It's an old Ford Escort. They'll run off like 3 wires.
Well, of course they will. Just get 3 nice wide gauge wires, wrap all the other ones around that wire.
No. You only need power to like the coil on those things, and like 1 for the starter.
Not wrong.
It's really the main ones. Like, I think they need like 1 other one for something stupid.
Yeah, speaking of something stupid, I guess we're here, so we might as well say, folks, if you like what you hear, if you don't like what you hear, go fuck yourself. But please, on your way out, click that damn heart icon.
Because every time you click the heart, Tripper gets another shitbox.
Well, currently looking for a burnout truck, but...
Was that the last words?
No. I'm just getting all the necessities out of the way, visiting us at badhabitsnetwork.com, emailing us at badhabitsnetwork@gmail.com if you kind of wanted to ask us any questions or figure out what Tripper's shitbox of the day is.
I don't know. I've been sticking with my shitboxes way too long these days. Like, I used to go through like a car a month, but now I'm down to like once a year I get something different, so that's not too bad.
Not too bad. I've had my car for 5 years.
Well, that's your problem.
I like my car.
Okay.
It's a very nice car.
So how many other cars have you owned in the time you've owned that one?
Just this one.
One vehicle? What's your backup vehicle?
the Lambo Feeties.
Oh, you mean in case this one goes to hell in a handbasket?
No, I mean just in general, like if you're bored and don't feel like driving the same vehicle that day, like...
I don't get bored in this car.
Interesting.
He is a rare breed.
Now, let's see, this is why I, help run this show and let you two assholes talk all the time.
Motorcycle, that's what you've got. Backup vehicle is motorcycle.
Yeah.
Well, you're fine.
Yeah, I have my dad's 1970s Royal Star, or Gold Star, Royal Wing. I don't know, it's one of those. It's a fucking Honda.
Is it a
it's
Gold
a
Star?
Honda, it's big. Huh?
Is it a Gold Star?
No.
It's a gold wine.
Gold Star.
I don't know. I'll fucking pull the picture up later. Anyway,
built in Germany,
it's nice,
Gold
it's big,
Star.
It's beefy. A lot of people think it's a fucking... Everyone that sees this car, because it has so much custom on it, always thinks, oh my god, that's a Harley. It's like, no, it's not. Because I pull up next to a Harley, and I'm about 3 times louder.
Right.
It's like, yeah, eat a dick, dude.
You shouldn't have loud things. It's offensive to other people.
Well, then don't build your house next to a fucking racetrack.
Might hurt someone's feelings. They're going to need a safe place while they're driving. And how are they going to get that?
Rule 6, fuck your feelings. Dude, if you're going to prospect for us, you damn well better learn these rules, man.
I'm sure I can Google them or something.
There's a show about that.
Yeah, there is. There's several shows. There's several in the backlogs. So, yeah, folks, find us everywhere across those interwebs, Facebook, YouTube, fucking here on Spreaker. We have our own Discord channel in case you ever want to talk to us whenever the hell you want. I don't know why. It's not like we're entertaining you with our tens and tens of listeners. Especially when people show up on time.
He was practically on time.
What was it, like 5
He was
minutes
not
late?
even a full hour late, so, I mean...
Yeah, just 26 minutes.
You were still cooking cookies.
Yeah, because I was waiting for you.
Yay.
Somebody forgot eggs. It wasn't me.
Who forgot eggs?
They told me they had eggs.
Okay.
Did they have an egg at least?
Nope.
Not even one?
Nope.
Wow.
These kids go through eggs more than there are chickens. You could probably get a belt-fed chicken that's just firing eggs. You'll see Bronson at the other end of the room catching them just like... You'll see Amriel behind him like some kind of sick, perverted skee-ball game.
So you need an egg cannon.
Next on Blown Pistons. You know what? It's technically a piston action, so it counts.
We sketchily talk you through how to build an egg cannon.
Mind you, we are not liable for anything you do with the aforementioned egg cannon.
Which one of your shit boxes are we going to tear apart for this project?
I don't even know if we need to tear one apart. I probably got enough junk laying around.
Next on Blown Pistons, folks.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
could turn a muffler into the drum and poo, poo, poo.
Anybody got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Peace out, bitches.